I'm highly disappointed to my fellow Igbo people.
Oh my God.
Nnamdi Kanu is suffering this because he's an Igbo.
Yes.
We must say it.
Yes.
Had it been that Nnamdi Kanu is from the north or from the southwest, he wouldn't have been there by now. And everybody's keeping quiet. Both the religious leaders, both the political leaders, both those in the diaspora. Nothing is happening. You feel that is existing. I'm highly disappointed.
Ọ gịnị na-afịọ kedu ife menu na ikpe tata kpatalụ ndị ọkaiwu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ji wee na-aba mba na-asị na ya bụ ife na-eme ọ maka na Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye Igbo ka eji emeri ya ife a bịa ka nkọrọ bute oche gị nso agbanyeghị ị ga-anụkwa ọnụ mmiri okwu ha niile ka o si wee mee mana mma akọrọ gị otu ma abụọ wee gbapụzie ya ọsọ ka ntiri gị ya bụ ife onyonyo mana ama na tata na wetara gị update n'ụtụtụ ebe ngwa gị na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na ọ batago n'ụlọ ikpe sị gị kedu ife ọ dị ka o nwere ike ime taa ọ dị ka a ga-enye ikike ka o jee ụlọ ọgwụ ka ọ dị ka a ga-ebugharị ya maka na ebe nsịfụnya bụ ife onyonyo nwetara mgbe ahụ ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ si na Naijiria gọọmenti na fe nwere ntụkwasị obi ebe fa nọ na a ga-ebugharị ya bụ ife ọ bụkwa na ọnya na o mere eme eziokwu ọ wee bụ na apụ n'ụlọ ikpe tata wee sị na onye ọkaikpe bụ Justice Omotosho wee sị na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na o nwere ikike ịdị ndụ ya o nwere right to live ịghọtago nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ama na arụ adịrị ya kama na o nwere ife ọ na-ekwu si kedu ife kpatara Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jiri were ikike wee kwete ka naanị onye ọrụ arụike ya onye dọkịta ọhụrụ onye ikike ka ọ bụrụ naanị ya ga na-afụ ihe gbasara arụike na onweghọ ka na ọ chọrọ ka ndị ọrụ arụike ọkacha mmụta nke ndị ụlọ DSS tinye anya n'ife gbasara ya na ọ dị ka ọ naanị onye abịa sị na ọ naanị nke ahụ ọ họrọ bụ onye ga-afịa amakwa nka ya bụ ife si wee bụrụ okwu nke a wee gaa ọ wee sị na ọzọ dịka ibie bụ dịka Omotosho na-ekwu na ihe mee na ụbụ na ya bụ akwụkwọ agba iji wee buje Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ụlọọgwụ nke dị n'Abuja na ya ga-ewepụtazi kọmitii na kọmitii ahụ ga-abụ kọmitii ndị ọrụ arụike ma ife a na-alụ n'ọfanwa ga-abịazi wee nyochaa Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kpọmkwem wee mmadụ na-arụ a na-anwụ eziokwu ka ọ na-arụ ada anwụ eziokwu aha a na-agụlesi na ọ na-aya eziokwu na anụkwala akọ ịghọtago nọọ abalị 8 ka ọ na-enyefa site n'ụbọchị tata bụ Fraịde abalị 26 n'ọnwa Septemba n'afọ 2025 bido tata wee ruo abalị 8 ka o nyerefa Justice Omotosho gaa n'iru wee sị na onye isi otu ndị ọrụ arụike Naijiria ya bụ Nigeria Medical Association nọ ya nwa ga-ehibe ya bụ kọmitii nyocha na kọmitii a ga-adị mmadụ 8 ma ọ bụ 10 ewetago nya onye isi otu ndị Nigeria Medical Association ga-eso na ya bụ ife iji wee nyocha ma Mazi Nnamdi Kanu arụ adịa ka ọ na-arụ adịra mana ife foto a m fụrụ ebe a ọ dị ka iru ya azara aza ama m na anya m ka o si ewetago na ọ bụrụ na enyochachazie ya bụ ife ha chigatazie azụ mgbe aka ị ga-ejizi mazi ebe okwu a ga-aga nene na ife onyonyo a biko gbasara m ozi a ka ndị ọzọ na-anụ ya daalụkwanụ.
Prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerns extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and they are bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court of Omahia, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing, by mistake, that these things were not in evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we're coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
So what about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence. that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise. Well, there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, you know, I don't think NMA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. Our client imagined care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. The private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the national hospital was rejected?
No, rejected. No, it's pending.
Yes. One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. Pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of the Nigerian Medical Association. And you know, if you were in court, the judge had ordered that committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the national hospital. So the national hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, because and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. Now we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it as a war against the Igbos.
Assembly. I am the primary representative of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are very disappointed in the ruling of the court today, where especially the court took a position that the extraordinary rendition was not going to be part of the consideration today. But he, however, to be fair to him, said if we can prove that there were extraordinary rendition, then that would change his consideration. So we are coming back. I've been assured by the lawyers that they are coming back to show that proof. One, the issue of jurisdiction. We will now know whether this court has jurisdiction or not. That's number one. Then number two, there seems, I keep saying it, there seems to be 2 sets of rules in this country. One for the Igbo man and the other one for every other Nigerian. Where every other Nigerian gets a reprieve, the Igbo man would not get a reprieve. You look at even the issue of the health situation of our brother. There have been many circumstances where people have been given opportunities to go and seek medical care, yet Nnamdi Kanu is denied. Even the president, at every consideration, the president goes overseas to take care of himself. He doesn't even subject himself to Nigerian medical attention. So it is very wrong for them to deny Nnamdi, who the doctors have laid clear evidences that he's having insufficiencies, organ insufficiencies. And what is the government waiting for? For him to die? And then the circumstances will now be brought up again? So, but for the Igbos, I'm more disappointed with the Igbos. The political leadership of the Igbo land, the spiritual and otherwise concerned, are keeping quiet, extraordinarily quiet, on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Especially when it is shown that when it concerns to others, especially in the north, the government is negotiating with terrorists, non-terrorists, dressed up with guns and various ammunition, and yet they have not proved that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. So it is up for Igbos to now rise up to ensure that we come in total defense of our brother and ensure that, especially in the administration of criminal justice, that he is not being marginalized. So Igbos should rise up for once and to say that all the spectacle, that enough is enough.
Excuse me. Nigerian Medical Council, now listen. The Nigerian Medical Council, you people examined Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on, that was 3 days ago. Yes. And the report will have it, where you people said that the report given by IH did not even capture the entire health condition of Nnamdi Kanu. You discovered more. That you people should not doctor that report, because court has ordered that you people should bring that report to court. We know what is happening in Nigeria, because now that it involves Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbos, they may force you people or may intimidate you people, because now that DSSS are even trying to intimidate eminent Professor Emeritus, Professor IH, who has been a Prophet College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, who has been a dean. Then his medical record is there. And somebody that is not even a consultant is questioning the report given by IH. Now the team, you people, constituted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that was 3 days ago, and the DSSS, and Nnamdi Kanu subjected himself. We have that report. That report, as people have it, provide it in court. Having said that, now, what gave rise to this particular issue of medical council is the petition I personally submitted against Dr. Mohammed Nasir from DSSS, the doctor that never examined Nnamdi Kanu, but he decided to depose falsely on oath. That is 7 paragraph affidavit. I submitted that petition. It was on that basis that Attorney General ordered the medical council to constitute a different board. We have been following it up, and that petition must be heard. And the Dr. Nasir should be, with his license as a medical doctor, if he is, should be withdrawn. Barrister Maxwell of PhD is submitting. It should be there. Just like what Honorable said.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, emeritus professor of medicine, well renowned all over the world, that someone from the government side reported him to the Nigerian Medical Association, and he was summoned to Lagos to face a panel, all because he returned the truthful diagnosis on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So this persecution knows no bounds. We are wondering when they are going to come after the lawyers as well. They are now going after the doctors. The idea that the doctor, the primary physician for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, chosen by him, is being intimidated by the government is despicable. The primary goal of everybody should be the health condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not intimidation of anybody that brings the truth before the authorities. The doctor is a witness of truth, and on that truth we shall stand.
I'm highly disappointed to my fellow Igbo people.
Oh my God.
Nnamdi Kanu is suffering this because he's an Igbo.
Yes.
We must say it.
Yes.
Had it been that Nnamdi Kanu is from the north or from the southwest, we wouldn't have been there by now. And everybody's keeping quiet. Both the religious leaders, both the political leaders, both those in the diaspora. Nothing is happening. You feel that that is existing. I'm highly disappointed. So this the judge said that he's not aware. We are going to bring a formal application. We are going to attach all the whole judgment given by even Kenya. The country said that yes, our country did not do well. Now Malami he has turned activist. The Malami that comes in, he has turned activist. He's now in opposition. As you are doing anything, remember that you cannot be in government forever. Yes, tomorrow. That's my message to you. Thank you.
Ọ na-anụgonu ife ndị ọkaiwu ekwu gasịrị mee n'ụlọ ikpe gbanyekwuo nke m nwakwu ka ihe ebumnobi gị kịta ọ dịka olileanya adịka ị ga-asị mba na ya bụ ife aba akarịa na ọrụ ndị bekasị gị be careful kere ebumnobi gị n'ife anụ nwee kpeta ọ sị n'abalị asatọ ka anyị n'abalị asatọ ka anyị marụkwa mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ile Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anya dịka foto a m fụrụ ebe a n'anya mama m dị na afọ na ọ dị m ka iri azara aza ịghọtago dị ka iri azara aza ihe ọ pụtara na ahụ ya na-anwụnụ ya gbọ ịghọtago mana ndị ọkaikpe si na ka eje nyocha ọ pụtara na fa na-eche na ọ na-asị asị na arụ ụdị ya ọ sị na arụ adịrị ya aghọtara m ya bụ ife mana ọfa ama ọ saalụ m ozi a ka ndị ọzọ naanị daalụkwanụ.